I want to ask you a question. Who's coaching you? Who's asking you the tough questions? Who's telling you, man, you're the common denominator to all of your issues and challenges? Who's telling you, man, all day long you become the magnetic pulse that attracts to you both good and bad? I want to be your life coach. I want to be the one that cheers you on to the finish line. I want to be the one that you ask the tough questions. And it doesn't mean that I have all the answers, but that means that you have a partner, someone who believes in you, not the you see right now, but the you can't imagine, the you that you are to become, the you are destined to be. I always say we both need the positive and the negative. It's not enough to have the knowledge of the matter, but we must have the wisdom as well. For wisdom settles it. And that's what I want to offer you as you join me on the Coach's Corner. I want to offer you the wisdom of the matter. Maybe it might be relationships, talking about our campaigns for more, for life, the dark room for our subconscious, our spiritual journey. Whatever it is, I want to be there to encourage you, to build you, to challenge you, to cheer you on to the finish line. I'm qualified to do this. Why? Because I'm you.
Well, welcome aboard to another edition of the Coach's Corner. My name is Marcus Salette. As surely as I approach the microphone, as I always say, I have my personal and professional issues, but I also like to think that I'm bringing to the table the very wisdoms of life, the wisdoms of life that will help me get to the finish line. And I trust that through those wisdoms will allow me the right to earn the right to speak into your life and to deposit things in your life that will help you become who you should be. Not do, but become. There's more being than doing. If we're focused on more of the being, the doing will come naturally. But we focus on the doing, the being is avoided and pretentiousness takes over. But today's thought is thought leadership requires covert ops. Thought leadership requires covert ops. Once again, I want to thank you very much for joining us on various platforms where we air. For those of you that are joining us on Blog Talk Radio, thank you. We had one show, almost 1,100 listens on one show, and that show was Forcefulness versus Focus. 1,100 and something listens to that one show. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Let's get to it. Well, how are you doing today? I trust that everything is going according to plan in your life and that you are experiencing success as you walk through the various processes in life. And we are excited about what you are going to and going through. Today we want to talk about thought leadership. Thought leadership. Everybody can't know what you're thinking. I'll say that again. Everybody can't know what you are thinking. If everybody knows what you are thinking, then you are defeated before you start carrying out what you were thinking. If everybody knows what you are thinking, then you are defeated already. One little saying that you can adapt from this program today is never let them see you coming. One of the things that I have learned in life is that the victim in us, those of us who have a resident victimization mindset, they always talk too much. If you find that you're always talking too much, it could be, not saying that it is, if for a correct diagnosis, see your therapist or your local doctor, but it could be you can't be quiet because there is an oozing from the wounds and scars, and the process has not been professionally attended to. You have placated those scars and sores with temporary solutions and found yourself wanting, telling and talking to those who eventually end up impeding your progress, thus causing you to be frustrated and duly agitated. But it really was your own fault, and you probably didn't realize, and just perhaps you attracted them to you because our thought process sends out magnetic vibes, and we bring to us what we believe truly that we deserve. And so everybody that's in your circle or was in your circle shouldn't be there because they have not been authenticated. But they were attracted by the vibe that we sent out. It was an invitation from our thought leadership, and they responded. They responded with game, and they responded with hype, and they responded with scripture. But in all reality, they have less than you ever could imagine. You know what I'm saying? They have less than you ever could imagine. They promise more than they ever deliver. And so, if you're going to heal as a victim, and if you're still in denial, I understand, because nobody wants to admit that they were taken advantage of. Nobody wants to admit that something happened to me. Nobody wants to admit that at some point in time I did not process what I survived. So therefore, I play hard, but hard is not me. Pretentiously, subconsciously, I'm leaking and I need to get some help. Well, it's obvious in your thought leadership. Your thought leadership, you can't keep your mouth closed. You can't stop explaining yourself. The people who just will never get it, but you yet explain. You promise that you're going to do something, but you never do it because the people that you tell you're going to do X, Y, and Z now have impeded your victory. And I found out that people are good with stealing your concepts and ideas. They're good with stealing your mind's thoughts. And so, as a thought leader, first you're going to have a covert op when you go out next time. And you have to practice OBM, opposite behavior modification. Just when you think you're ready to talk, shut up. Just when you think you're ready to share, be quiet. Just when you think you're ready to tell it, suffer in silence. You see, the eagle don't fly with pigeons, sparrows, and any other species other than their kind. And until the flock of your kind is revealed, you should not be talking about your thoughts. Till the flock of your kind is revealed, you should not be talking to everyone. Until the flock of your kind is revealed, you should not be sharing with everyone. Until the flock, and you know what? The flock is very small. It's not a herd. It's not a herd. The circle should be very small. Only a few people ever get in close. Now, the hard case shell, where you walk in pretentiousness and in denial about things that happened to you, and you never got a chance to really process things. And so now you've grown a hard shell to weather various storms, but you don't have the sensitivities to be able to diagnose or to be able to maneuver as a special ops in your thought leadership. And so you bleed in magnetic pulse form, even though you may brush and polish up how you sound and how you look and what kind of car you drive and what kind of house you live in. and everyone is impressed because you look the part, but magnetically so, you are oozing weakness because you can never be quiet. And then some of you need to speak up. You need to speak up. You need to say something every now and then, and straight something out every now and then, and huddle up the crew to move every now and then, but you're too timid. You're too scared. I'm reminded of a situation with this, thank you, Mr. DJ. I'm reminded of the situation with this contract. I asked the guy a bunch of questions as we were preparing for a project, and, he hauled off and told me, I told you. First of all, that's no way to talk to somebody in a negotiation meeting. And then he told me, you put too much, it's not something you need to put too much thought into it. But see, I know where he got that from. So that let me know from now on, and from here and on out, even who you think you can trust. I'm just telling you, I'm just keeping it real. Even who you think you can trust, you may not can trust with what you're thinking anymore. You need to fly low. Tone down the rhetoric. Tone down the fussing. Tone down the complaining. Tone down the noise. Give yourself a chance to form and shape your poise. Tone down. Don't be so loud. Give yourself a chance to be polished and proud. Tone down. And practice OBM when you can, because there is a part of you that you've yet to discover. But if you would practice OBM, opposite behavior modification, you'd discover that there's a you that you won't let out. Oh yeah, you go to church and you run with this one or that one, but you are still hiding on the inside because you're a leader. And there's a uniqueness about your concepts and your ideas. There's a uniqueness about who you are becoming. And you would think that you could share that with the average Joe, who would then in turn celebrate. And maybe because of things that has happened to you, you're still looking to be validated, but you don't know that, because if you have these secrets that have not been processed, then you would magnetically ooze or bleed magnetic pulses of past experiences unresolved. And so now in your thought leadership, you have to go into a special covert op mode. COM. Covert op mode. You need to go undercover right about now. Because when you go undercover, then you're going to discover that there are some things in you that keep causing the same situation. Yeah, the same situation that you are faced with. Because you are the common denominator in every situation. I am the common denominator in every situation. If I was there, if I was a part of the conversation, if I was a part of the activity, if I was part of the covenant, the relationship, whatever the case may be, my presence, my name means that part of the blame falls on me. And so now I realize and I understand and I accept the responsibility for me. And in accepting the responsibility for me, I accept also that there's a level of risk that comes with being me. And being me is not always comfortable, and being me is not always something that someone else will enjoy, because I barely enjoy me being me. Oh, I thought I was enjoying me being me when I was going off, but I was going off about something that I was protecting, and I was protecting something that nobody knew, and nobody knew it because I hadn't processed it. I had just survived. And so I became hard, and I became impressive, and I became a person that could get results. But inside, my productivity really is a lie. Because you know what? I had to do what I had to do at the time. But in time, I found out that being is more important than doing. Doing had been my focus up to now, but I realize and I understand that through my thought leadership, that in my covert operation, that I realize now that being is more significant, because in my being, I'm oozing magnetic pulses from my consciousness, whereas in doing, I hide in activity, and no one can catch me if I'm moving and doing. Yeah, I hide in my doing so that I won't have to be becoming. Because the authenticity of who I should be is in my ID. And if you can catch me in my doing, I can impress you. I can bring your honor and respect to be hurled upon my ID that is really hidden in my activity. Thought leadership requires covert ops now, because there are some things and secrets and incidents and accidents that happen to me that I am not willing to discuss. Let's put it on the table like it truly T.I. is. I am not willing, and I'm not forthcoming regarding what, when, where, why, and how. And so, since I know me, I know I'm not willing to discuss that. I know I'm not willing to reveal that, even to myself. I mean, I'm not just talking about talking to a therapist. I'm not talking about talking to a pastor, but I have issues and things that I won't even admit to me. So I hide me in activity, and I can't be caught. Yeah, so now I realize, Coach, I got you. I'm a leader of sorts, because we all are leading in something, good or bad, positive or negative, godly or ungodly. Somehow or another, we are leading. But what are we leading people to? Thought leadership now. I realize now that in my leadership that I am required. It's required now. It's required that I have an operation to accomplish a goal that is not announced, and the details of my operation to acquire my mission now will not be revealed from this day forth. I will not say to others, because I need their affirmation and confirmation to my ID. Because they refuse to run with me in my activity, I will not open up my mouth and reveal my strategy and my tactics any longer. I will now, in secret, wait and plan and carry out my activity from my ID, because I need to discover me. And that's going to have to be covert, because I don't want anyone to see my scars. I don't want anyone to have to know how far I really came. Really. An old mother said, when I think of the goodness of Jesus and all that he has done for me, my soul cries. Well, when I think of my life's mission, the leadership that is going to require to accomplish my life's mission, when I think about my life's mission and all that I must do to leave a legacy of who I really be, my soul cries out, shut My soul cries out, shut up. You are impeded at best from your own mouth being open at the wrong time. You're impeded at best from frivolous conversation. You're defeated at best from talking too much. Even there is an old proverb, biblically speaking, that says, a man that talks too much is prone to make a mistake. How many mistakes have I made? Thoughtlessly so. Because I'm talking to folks in my row. People that I don't even know. I just know their activity, but I don't know their ID. They pretend or place themselves to be one thing, but I discover that there's something else. And so that relationship, I realize now, must be put on the shelf. Never again to revisit the old covert ways. And never again to go back into the past to repeat old crazy days. Because now I realize I'm a thought leader, that everything about me magnetically is oozing from my subconscious and bringing in complementary people, complementary experiences, complementary opportunities. So if I'm thinking right, if I'm thinking balanced, if I'm thinking modest, if I'm thinking wholesome, then I will continue or begin to attract to me that which is what I have mainly allowed my mind and consciousness to center around. But when I'm talking too much, now I have veiled myself from my own consciousness. I have tricked myself. I have wooed myself in a dance of conversation, of needless conversation in so many cases, because I am insecure at best, and I just really want someone to talk to that will make me feel better about me, because I'm not sure about my ID, and I am afraid, I am timid at best to discover who the real me in me might be. So the thought leadership requires a covert operation right about here and right about now. Camouflage. Dress code is required in this covert op. Right. Yeah. How you answer is required in this covert op. Right. Diet is required in this covert op. However you want to spin it, however you want to split it, because it's about recovery of me. Thought leadership simply means that every time you have a central core of dominant thoughts, that is what determines what will be magnetically attracted to you, whether you see it through a spiritual lens or a lens of scientific psychoanalysis. The issue of thought leadership simply means that these are the dominant areas. And dominant areas become dominant deeds through a dominant conversation. Thoughts become words, words become actions, actions become habits, habits become journeys, journeys become whatever you say, whatever you thought it would be. What are you thinking today? I don't want they to help me think, because that is the other reason why the covert operation has been thwarted in the past, is because I let others determine my thoughts and interpret my thoughts. And I don't need anyone else now to interpret or to determine what I should and should not think. What I really need for them to do is step back from the vehicle. Give me my space. Let me determine the pace of my own race. Let me ooze all alone, Not alone in the sense of being by myself, but alone in the sense that I choose who to run with and who not to run with. Or I choose to run with eagles of my kind. And if I know that I'm not an eagle yet, able to spread my wings at least 12 feet on each side, then let me wait until the flock of my kind is revealed. Let me suffer in silence. Let me learn how to hold in my excitement and my celebratory expression of how I just made an accomplishment through an activity. But I still am working on my ID to really be me. Oh yeah, now I can see. Thought leadership requires a covert operation. Who wants to go? I don't need any volunteers. That was a rhetorical question as I evaluate who's in my circle for real. Who I thought I could trust, I can't trust no more. But I had trusted them because I didn't trust me. And I trusted them based on my activity. Because it's easier for me to hide in activity than to be me. For the being, I now understand, is greater than the doing. And through the doing, I was hiding who I really am becoming. That's what I'm talking about, you guys. Take a small break. I'll be back, close it out. Just a coach. Who are you? Who are you becoming? Are you hiding an activity? Are you refusing to show your real ID even to you? Are you talking because you need affirmation and confirmation? And somebody said, I'm just talking because I need company. Needless activity is a waste of time. Activity that takes you to the back of the line. Company that keeps you frustrated in time. It's time for your covert ops to take its initial move right here and right now. It's time to learn how to be quiet. Not just when it comes to the noise of others, but it also it's time to be quiet inside of you, inside of me. It's time to be quiet inside of you and inside of me. Don't you feel that? Don't you feel that? Thought leadership requires that you now enter into the realm of covert ops, and we can't go back now. Less activity and more thought leadership, more meditation, more introspection, more personal inward celebration, because until you really celebrate who you are becoming, not who you are now, you will never have the right company, because the celebration starts on the inside of me. I've got to be happy with me. I've got to be happy in the discovery of my ID. And when I become happy, when I become satisfied that I have scars and I have messed up and I've fallen down, and I can say, but in the meantime, I am okay. And it's not because of my praise. It's not because of my church family. Not because of my pastor. But because of who I said I am. I am becoming. That's who I am. Follow me if you can on Spreaker. You're listening to the sounds of your lifestyle improvement station.
Hi, Jamaica Chapel, College Park, Georgia, in the house. You're listening to SIBN Radio.
Hi, this is Ted Bones calling from Richmond, Virginia, and you're listening to the Lifestyle Improvement Station, SIBN Radio. Y'all turn it up now.
Hi, this is VJ Washington calling from Atlanta, Georgia. You're listening to the Lifestyle Improvement Station, SIBN Radio. So turn it up.
Hi, my name is Sonia Claiborne from East St. Louis, Illinois, by way of Carruthersville, Missouri. You're listening to the Lifestyle Improvement Station, SIBN Radio. Turn it up.
What's good? It's your boy Joe coming from Snellville, Georgia. You're listening to the Lifestyle Improvement Station, SIBN Radio. Y'all turn it up.
You're listening to the sounds of your lifestyle improvement station, changing the way we live. SIBN FM, powered by Select USA TV.